The beautiful thing about film is it can tell abstractions as well as, specific things. And it's a language where the intuition can come to play. And the intuition, they say, is the heart and the mind working together to make an inner knowing. And so when we see things in life that are abstractions, or think about things that are abstractions, sometimes the intuition makes an inner knowing.
David Lynch is an American director, producer, screenwriter, painter, musician, and occasional actor, known for a variety of films. Some of his best-known works including Eraserhead, The Elephant Man, Blue Velvet, the cult TV series Twin Peaks, and Mulholland Drive. However, what his films are best known for is their strange and often disturbing visuals, as well as their tendency to disregard standard narrative conventions. Lynch's films often focus on visually creating mood and atmosphere, more so than telling a cohesive story, and his works are often similar to jigsaw puzzles or riddles, in that one must examine the film with an open mind and piece together their own meaning. Because of this, Lynch makes a point of not explaining his films. David Lynch has a widely diverse reputation as an artist. In a career that has spanned 47 years, he has created feature films, shorts, television programs, and documentaries. In fact, many casual viewers fail to realize that Lynch actually started as a painter. His career as a filmmaker began with a simple experiment.
Well, I'm a David Lynch fan. I think anything that he does I'd find interesting, but I really liked his pictures. I like their sort of strange use of mixed media. They have a kind of Eraserhead feel to them. They're populated by these strange little creatures. They're like a little series of telegrams from the inside of his brain.
I was working on a painting that was a garden at night, and so it was green and black, basically. And the green was coming out of the black, and I suddenly saw the green start to move a little, and I heard a wind. And I thought, this is beautiful, and I thought maybe the paintings, should move some. So I got the idea to do an animated film of a moving painting.
David Lynch's films often aim to create a certain dreamlike atmosphere. A common theme in his work is to present a seemingly ideal world, which is revealed to have a dark and sinister underbelly. Common visual motifs include industry, red curtains to create an otherworldly atmosphere, and tracking shots of roads. He also has an occasional tendency to cast actresses in dual roles, and frequently has at least one disturbing character who appears unnatural.
I love Billy Wilder, Sunset Boulevard in particular. I love Fellini. Watch them over and over. Jacques Tati. If you want to see some great comedies, check out Jacques Tati's Mr. Hulot's Holiday. I like W.C. Fields. I like the movie It's a Gift. I like Hitchcock, particularly Rear Window. Stanley Kubrick is one of my all-time favorite filmmakers, and he did me a great honor early in my career that really encouraged me. I was working on The Elephant Man and was at Lee International Studios in England, standing in a hallway. One of the producers of The Elephant Man, Jonathan Sanger, brought over some guys who were working with George Lucas and said, "They've got a story for you." And I said, "Okay." They said, "Yesterday, David, we were out at Elstree Studios and we met Kubrick. And as we were talking to him, he said to us, 'How would you fellas like to come up to my house tonight and see my favorite film?' They said that would be fantastic." They went up, and Stanley Kubrick showed them Eraserhead. So right then, I could have passed away peaceful and happy.
Like many other great directors, such as John Carpenter, Steven Spielberg, James Cameron, and Alfred Hitchcock, David Lynch has a number of people with whom he often collaborates. Most of his films, starting with Blue Velvet, have been scored by Angelo Badalamenti, while other frequent crew members include casting director Joanna Ray, editor, producer, and screenwriter Mary Sweeney, and cinematographer Freddie Francis. Throughout his career, Lynch has developed a somewhat notorious cast whom he frequently includes in his films, such as Jack Nance, who was with Lynch from the beginning, appearing as the lead in Eraserhead, and delivering supporting roles and cameos in most of his later projects. Kyle MacLachlan and Laura Dern are frequent choices for leading roles, while common supporting actors include Harry Dean Stanton, Everett McGill, Freddie Jones, and Grace Zabriskie, and on a few occasions, even himself.
But sire, we can't leave all this spice. Get me Agent Chester Desmond out in Fargo, North Dakota.
I'd say about 2 foot down, Bucky.
How far do you want him to go down?
He also has an odd habit of casting famous musicians in supporting roles and cameos. Among them, Sting, Chris Isaak, David Bowie, Marilyn Manson, Billy Ray Cyrus, Rebecca Del Rio, and Angelo Badalamenti. While he made several shorts before it, the critically acclaimed surrealist film Eraserhead was the film that truly established David Lynch as an artist and a cult filmmaker. The film broke standard conventions of cinema, creating a disturbing and incomprehensible narrative, the nature of which critics have written entire essays trying to explain. Lynch says very little about the making of this film, but there is no doubt that it clearly shows the style for which he would become known. Lynch's second feature would be the complete opposite of Eraserhead in every way imaginable. The brilliance of The Elephant Man conveyed Lynch's versatility and opened him up to a mainstream audience. John Hurt delivers an astounding performance in the title role, complete with a cast made from the real-life Joseph Merrick, while Anthony Hopkins manages to do equally well, playing the surgeon with whom Merrick develops a touching friendship. It is further helped by an excellent supporting cast that includes Sir John Gielgud, Freddie Jones, Wendy Hiller, and Anne Bancroft. Much like Eraserhead, the film was shot entirely in black and white, but instead of adding to a disturbing atmosphere, it is used to enhance the Victorian setting and create a feel for the time period.
It had to be in black and white. Black and white is a magical thing. It removes you instantly one step from reality, and it also lets you drift back in time. So many photographs are black and white from the past, and you just feel it more. It has a purity to it. It just had to be, that way.
And we were shooting in true black and white. We weren't shooting on color stock black and white. We were shooting on black and white stock, which was very hard to get anyway, because they're usually only sold to students.
Lynch did not make The Elephant Man on his own. He received help from a very unlikely source, that being in the form of iconic comedian Mel Brooks, the director of Blazing Saddles, Spaceballs, and Young Frankenstein.
Jonathan Sanger is the producer of The Elephant Man, and Stuart Kornfeld is one of the executive producers, I being the other, without portfolio, without name, because very simply, if I put Mel Brooks' name on it, on the posters or even on the screen before it ran, I knew it would be misconstrued and that the audience would think that this was some kind of a comedy.